Okay, I tried to edit the video, but it was taking too long, so I'm gonna just put this little short clip in. Every cam, I recommend 165 rockers. Get 165 rockers. I didn't mention that in the video, but I just wanted to mention that. And the prices that I say, how much it's going to cost for stuff like that, those are worst case prices. Could be cheaper than that. But hope you enjoyed today's video. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So as you can see, this is why you ain't been getting no content. We actually got a winner this year. It's terrible. So today's video, I'm going to talk about a lot of questions I get asked. Recommended can't even talk right. Recommended mod list. Bro, what mod should I do? What's the best? So this is gonna be a decently long video, so make sure you grab your pen and papers and grab your snacks. So let's talk. So let's start off with levels. So you got people that pay to get their stuff did, and then you got let me set this camera somewhere real quick. So you got you have people that pay to get the mods done in their car. You got people that have a little bit of know-how. They don't want to pull their motor out, stuff like that. Then you got people that want to pull their motor out and build it. And then you got the people that think they have to port everything. So we're gonna break this all down. So my recommended mods is going to be for each level per se. Let's start off with the people that's paying for stuff. This goes for everybody. You always want to get the maintenance part done when it comes to the 3000, because that tells you as if the car is even worth being modified. Now, key areas you want to look for on the W body would be, look at your strut towers, make sure they're not rotted out. Rocker panels, of course. And then if that passes, then as far as the motor side, this is starting out. Whenever you buy a 3800, you always want to check and see if the coolant elbows are plastic, because that's just a dead giveaway that the lower intake manifold needs replaced, or not the manifold itself, but the gaskets. So always get your lower intake manifold gaskets changed and coolant elbows done. Switch those out to the aluminum ones. Put you a transgo shift kit in the thing. Don't listen to the hearsay about never change your transmission fluid. I don't agree to that. Get you a transgo shift kit, change the transmission filter. And I usually, on stock transmissions, I'll add this. That's not it. It's Lucas Transfix. I'll add a half a bottle of that with fresh fluid. And it's been doing good for me all the time. And then change your spark plugs and wires. All right, that's general maintenance stuff right there. Now everything passes on that. Now you need to sit down and budget yourself, because you're not doing the work yourself, so you're gonna have to pay somebody to do your work for you. So you got to factor in the labor costs, and then what it costs for parts. Now, you're like, oh, I want to make like 400 wheel horsepower, right? Okay, but how much money you got? Oh, I got like 2,500. That is not gonna do nothing for you, because you're gonna spend about close to $1,000 in labor of putting the parts on. So you're only gonna be looking at about $1,000 worth of parts, which that'll get you an exhaust, pretty much. That'll get you an exhaust, an intake, and maybe a tune. And yeah, So there's that. So if you you want to do a build or whatever, and you're not doing the work yourself, you're paying somebody else. Just be safe and set yourself about maybe 10,000. I would say out of the 10,000, you're going to spend about, here say about 3,500 to 4 grand in labor, which would give you about 6 grand. So if you had 6 grand to do mods and you're paying somebody else to do it, 6 grand will get you for a reliable, we'll say a reliably fun build. Okay. That will get you a full-size intercooler, 1.9 rockers, full exhaust. Full exhaust, and I mean, you can get you a set of headers and a ZZP catback, or you can get you the equalizer and a full catback. And I always recommend a full-size intercooler when it comes to M90 stuff. Get you a set of, a lot of people can't run an E85. If you can run an E85 with 1.9 rockers, 60-pound injectors is enough with 1.9 rockers. Just get 60, because you can use that for pump gas and E85. So just get that, and then that'll pay for your tune. And the shift kit and all that stuff will already be on it. And that'll be a respectable 300, 320, something will, if it's all done right. And the stock transmission will live off of that. Now, that takes care of that. Always too, don't buy like something, put it on, and then buy this and then put it on, because when you do that, you end up changing stuff. So just like always have yourself a plan out what you want to do, so you ain't buying the same thing twice. I went through that. All right, now that's for the people that's paying for stuff. Now for the people that that don't want to pull their motor out but just want to make some good power, here's my recommendation. All right, valve springs. 90s, 105s, 136s, 150s, double 140s, right? Okay. Our motors come with a single chain. I wouldn't run 130-pound valve springs or 105s on a single timing chain. Well, you probably could get away with 105s, but I would do 90s. So, since you're not pulling your motor out, evidently you're not touching the timing chain. The timing chains rarely fail. I've never seen a timing chain fail on a 3800. So, what I would do if I were you, I would just get 1.9 rockers. Okay. Get you the ZZP equalizer, or get ZZP headers, or get SSAC headers, the cheap eBay headers. Full-size intercooler. I can't stress that enough. Like, you're not going to make any good power without a full-size. Like, get a full-size intercooler. 60-pound injectors. Get you an AEM E85 pump, because that'll take care if you run a pump or E85 gas. Get you an SFI balancer. That's mandatory. Get an SFI balancer, because that helps with the rotating assembly. For stock balancers is really rated for, like, I wouldn't really recommend shifting them past 63, and that's even stretching it, because they have a tendency of cracking. So always get a power bond SFI balancer. And while you at it, you might as well just get the 8 red pulleys. Do that. Get you a belt wrap. Transgo shift kit, and get you a North Star throttle body if you do a Gen 5 swap. That's pretty much my recommend. It's nice bolt-ons and make good power. Yeah. That would be my recommend list for like people that don't want to pull the motor out and stuff like that. That just want to, you know, put some bolt-ons, want to make some good power. That would be the build for you. I wouldn't recommend anybody that don't know how to pull a motor out or don't want to spend the big money to do a turbo build, because turbo builds is going to consist of you blowing the transmission. Like, I just turboed this car and I'm already expecting to build this transmission. Like, I know what I'm signed up for and I'm totally fine with that. Why? Because I know when it happens, I can pull this motor and train out, do it myself. Now, anyway, next, let's get to the people that actually know how to work on their own cars. Okay. Terrell, I want to do this. I want to build this motor. What should I do? Right? Okay. You got these people that were like, I got this ported supercharger and this ported lower intake manifold, ported throttle body, but you got stock heads. Let me explain something about that. You got all this stuff opened up, right? Do you realize that all the air has to pass through the heads? You got all this big opening stuff just to squeeze through this little itty bitty heads. Like, why are you even? My thing is, if you don't have the heads ported, then don't port nothing else, because everything else doesn't matter. You're just, what are you doing? Some people may agree with me on that. Some people may not. All right. Which leads to cams. Okay. We used to have two vendors. We had Intense Racing and ZZP, but now we just have ZZP. I myself have experience with like literally every cam that the platforms put out. So I can break this down to you. If you have the following cams, S1X, S2X, which is kind of like in between, that's a gray area cam, VS, XP, Nick cam, those cams were grounded for stock heads. All right. Now I see all the time people got a lot of them with XP cams with ported heads. There's nothing wrong with that, but this is my personal opinion. Okay, my personal opinion. I don't want to act like I'm stepping on people's toes or bashing. I'm not bashing. This is just my personal opinion. If you have a cam that's grounded for stock heads, okay, I would run stock heads. Nothing needs to be touched. All right. Now, why do I say that? I use my brother's car for example. All right. VS cam top swap car. Okay. Nothing is ported. Gen 5 is not touched. Lower manifold's not touched. The heads is not touched. Nothing's touched. 360 wheel. I've seen a couple people do an XP cam build with ported heads. It made the same power that my brother's VS cam car is making, which pretty much the same mods. Every motor doesn't perform the same, but my thing is, if you're going to run ported heads and everything else ported, then run the cams that's grounded for that, such as the Intense Stage 3, Intense Stage 4, or the XPZ. Those three cams in the gray area, IS2 cam. Those four cams are the gray or for ported heads. All right, those is for big power. A lot of people will spend money that doesn't need to be spent and still can make good power. So now that I got that out, let's go ahead and break it down. So the people that want to do engine building instead of pull the motor out, mandatory 130 valve springs, mandatory. I don't care what cam you putting in, 130 is mandatory on all cams. That's my personal opinion, because you can rev them and you'll never have to worry about valve flow. Double roll timing chain, mandatory. They even make dampeners now for the double roller, so that's actually pretty sweet. We're gonna go over like the stock head cams. All right. This mod list is pretty much for all of them. This is the Terrell recommended list for them. 136 springs, double roll timing chain, LS7 lifters, power bond SF5 balancer, ZZP flex plate, equalizer or headers, full size intercooler, 8 rib setup, belt wrap, 80-pound injectors, AEM E85 pump, North Star throttle body on the cable driven, and if you have cable driven, or not cable driven, drive-by-wire, get it turned down. You'll need it. I want to say that's pretty much it for the motor side. 80-pound injectors, yeah, I said that. Yeah, and that is for, like I said, S1X cam, VS cam, NIT cam, and XP. Those are my recommended mods for those cams. Notice I said nothing's ported. You asked them for my recommendation. This is my recommendation. Everybody has their own. This is my personal opinion. Also, set aside, if you're not building a transmission yourself, which I'm going to learn to do myself, set aside $4,000 for a built trans. It's going to cost that much, because you definitely want to have a built trans for making power like that. Because that setup right there, what I just told you, is a guarantee. Guarantee. I can't say that for the NIT cam. Well, actually, no, I don't know. I would say the pill machine was like, I never got a dyno, but from the butt dyno, it was like about a 330, 340 wheel horsepower car before I made it turbo. But my brother's car and my wife's, that's 360. That's 360 rim. That list I just gave you will give you 360 wheel if you're on E85. If you're on pump gas, that's about 330, 320 something. Plus that setup, you'll be able to run a power or party pulley for sure. I don't know why. I seen back in the day where like people would have what you call it? They'll have a party pulley on, and then like they'll take it off and put a bigger pulley on. I never really seen the reason for that. Hell, when I had it on Hellboy, and I kept the party pulley on at all times. Never took it off. I don't see the need for it. Especially if you got a good intercooler setup. There's no need for that. My opinion. Alright, now moving on. So transmission, we went over that. Then you got the people that, you know, got ported heads and want to go crazy. IS3 cam, if you could find one. IS4 cam, if you could find one. And XPZ. Now you want to get to the ported lower intake manifolds, you know, ported superchargers and all that, because now that's considered a max effort build. That's what those cams is for, max effort. So you want to go all out with them. You don't want to skimp out. And those, 150 valve springs or double 140s. You can get away with 130s on the IS3 cam, but everything else, XPZ or IS4, 150s or 140s, because you're trying to rev those to the moon. Like I'm talking 7,000. And another thing too, with M90s, if you want to make big power, you have to rev them out, man. Have to. 6,000 RPMs is not going to do it on cam builds. You need at least 63 to 6,500. That's just the line right there. 63, 6,500 is like the go-to for M90 builds. But if you max effort, 7,000. I know that from experience. And then, you know, I can't really go into detail about recommended turbo stuff because I just got my foot in the door with turbo stuff. So I don't want to give information that I don't know. M90 side, I could tell you all day. So we're just going to leave it at that as far as turbo builds. I'll soon have a, you know, good explanation about how turbos perform this year. Richard Holtner did a turbo or 3800 turbo series with the Nick Cam, and that's what inspired me to do this, because he made like, it was like 600 and something horsepower to the crank at 15 or 14 pounds of boost, and I was just like, oh, that's pretty impressive. So that's why did that. So we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, man, that's my recommendation list. I get asked all the time. I always expect, if you're doing it yourself, like you're building a motor yourself, you want to do the motor and transmission, expect to spend anywhere from 10 to 13,000. Yeah, 4,000 that's going to be your transmission, and then the rest is going to be, buying all the parts. And this is if you don't. It could be cheaper than that if you can resource your parts through Facebook and buy parts off people. You can get stuff cheaper, but a lot of people don't have that resource knowledge, because they always ask you, hey bro, where can I buy this and that? And you tell them, and you literally have to like do everything for them. Like, they don't want to put the effort into searching them themselves, and that's gonna affect you, because you're gonna have to spend more money. Google is your best friend. Just if you got a question, just type the question you would ask a person on Google, and the answer will come up. I swear to God. But yeah. So then the last part I'm gonna talk about is the cams. VS cam. Okay, we'll go over all the cams. The VS cam is a stupid torque monster. I mean, if you want like hella torque, the VS cam is it. That's the move right there. VS Cam got mad low end torque, but it kind of falls off on the big end. But we added 1.7s on my brother's VS Cam build, and it brought the top end like a S1X cam, which brings me to the S1X cam. The S1X cam is the in between of the VS and the XP cam. So it's got the slight low end torque like a VS cam, and it's got the mid to high range like an XP. So it's like an ultimate like in between cam. I love that cam. S1X is one of my favorite cams. Next is the Intense Stage 2. The Intense Stage 2 is like an in between of the I want to say in between of a S1X with 1.8 rockers, and almost like low end, or almost like a mid range of XPZ. It's nice. It's nice. It's like an entry level of badassery. But next would be the Nick Cam. The Nick Cam, it sounds good, it's cool and all, but it has this. It doesn't have shit for low end, honestly. But the top end is crazy. It's got nice top end. It almost feels almost as strong as the IS4 cam on the top end, because it just keeps pulling on the big end, but it ain't got shit for down low. Which is a good thing, because it's actually a relatively really good cam for stock transmission, because it's not really torquey. But it's a decent cam. Wouldn't be my preferred cam though. Next, XP. XP has a nice mid-range, high range. It's not lopey at all. At least mine wasn't. My XP cam wasn't lopey at all. If you're looking for lope, you ain't gonna really get it. Some people, it's weird, because some people get lopes and some people didn't. Mine didn't have any lope to it. The VS cam doesn't have any lope to it. The S1X and the XP or the Nick cam has lope. Okay, so that's that. And then you got the IS3 cam. The IS3 cam is just a sick, a nasty, all around low, mid, and high end cam. It's crazy. That is a badass cam. That's one of my favorite cams of all time, is the IS3 for an M90 car. Next, XPZ. XPZ is like right under, to me, the XPZ is like right under the IS4. It's like right there with the IS3. The XPZ is a dangerous cam. That's a bad cam too. Matter of fact, my best friend that died, if you watch my old videos, you see his car was in my garage, the silver sedan. That was an XPZ car, and that car scared the fuck out of me. That car was nice. The XPZ setup was sick. So that's a bad cam too. Now, of all time, you already know my all-time favorite cam of all time is Intense Stage 4. That cam is just so damn sick, man. In so many ways. The IS3 chops too. The XPZ kind of chops, but not like the IS3 does, but the IS4 is just wicked. It don't have shit for low end, which I like, but damn, 3,000 on, it come in hot. Oh, it comes in hot. I love that cam. But yeah, that pretty much that's it, man. I just, I hope this was a good video for you. It gives you an idea of what to look for. Like I said, people that's paying, 10. I told you what it's going 10,000 will get you, and you want more mods, it's gonna get higher than that. And then like the people that don't want to pull their motor out, I pretty much gave you the breakdown of what would be a good recommended build for me. And then people that does their hands-on and stuff like that, broke that down. So just expect it. If you think you're gonna make 400 horsepower with $2,000, it's not happening. $2,000 to get you an exhaust and a tune, probably, and the intake. I said 2,000. I hope I said 2,000. Don't remember if I said 2 or 10. 2,000 is not gonna get you a lot. But 5,000, 6,000 relatively get you a good, a decent setup. But always be resourceful. Look on the 3,800 pages on Facebook, the marketplaces. Look for people's always selling stuff. Find stuff for cheap before you buy it new. Make sure it's good. But yeah, so that's gonna be it for this video. Can't give you guys any sauce right now because there's really nothing going on because of the weather. But Tuesday, I am getting the pill machine. I'm gonna get some auto tuning done on it. So that's why I make sure I got it on the tender so it's nice and charged. So that'll be getting done Tuesday. So other than that, that's all I got, y'all. Hope y'all enjoyed today's video. Check me out on TikTok. I just made a TikTok. I put some short, decent clips on there. And Facebook. I got an Instagram. Just follow me on all platforms if you want. Well, that's going to do it for today's video. I'll catch you on the next one.